I started OccaSoftware to help make game development easier for everyone. When I first started trying to use Unity, I was like, holy shit, how can anyone ever make anything? Always loved building tools, helping other people be more creative, create incredible things. That's the reason why we started OccaSoftware. So we've been working on this project every day, all day, like 10, 15, 20 hours a day for 3 years. And I'm really excited about where it is now, and I'm really excited to share it with you. In this video, I want to teach you everything you need to know about OccaSoftware. What is it? Who are we? Why do we do what we do? How to download and install our assets for Unity into your project. So we're going to cover that. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, it has been too long since I've made a video for you guys. So a lot of updates. So we built out our website. You can access all of our really incredible assets through our website now through a subscription plan. And we really love offering these assets through a subscription plan because basically like when you have to buy the assets up front, it can be hard to know if the asset will definitely work for your project. And maybe you try it and maybe you don't love it, honestly. Like not every asset is for everyone. And we know that it is tough out there and that games are not super cheap to make. And so we're basically trying to do our best to offer our products and tools at a really good price and in a format that makes it really easy for you to like sign up and try the assets out. And if you like them, then you can keep keep your subscription. And if you're using them, you can keep your subscription. And if you don't like them, then you can cancel your trial and you don't actually have to pay anything. So it's a really great sort of low risk way for you to try out some of our awesome products and tools for Unity URP especially. And we like spent a lot of time remaking our whole website. And my favorite part is this section, the Made with OccaSoftware section, where you can see some of the games that some of the people in our community are working on or have made. Like this one, for example, at Sky's Edge is really super cool. And you can go ahead and check them out by just popping them open here. So this one's using like our Skybox system, Altos, which has like volumetric clouds and a lot of other really cool things. So that's kind of like our website. In terms of like pricing, we kind of decided to start with a price of around $9.99 a month for an annual subscription. That's what we have right now. I don't really know exactly, but I think that's a pretty good price. I looked at sort of how much it would cost if you went out and bought all of these assets individually yourself, and that alone would cost like $900. If you like bought all of them individually from anyone else. And yeah, so I felt like if you have your subscription, it's $9.99 a month. So you take that for like a year, it's like $100, 2 years, 200, 3 years, 300, and so on. And so basically it's sort of like lifetime and also way cheaper than if you bought them all yourself. And you also don't have to go and like spend days trying to figure out, will this asset work, will that asset work, and so on. So we're pretty happy about that. We have these different pricing tiers. So that's like sort of the starter tier, which includes some of our assets. And then we also have like the indie tier, which includes everything, and then the studio tier, which also includes priority email support. So we're kind of still working on making sure that we're offering like the right price points and the right tiers and the right differentiation between the products. And we think it's kind of okay so far. And also, if you are a nonprofit, or if you are like in school or anything like that, we have some discounts for you. So yeah, so it's basically free if you're a teacher or a student, totally free, and then 20% off for nonprofits, and for charities. And again, we're kind of still working on the pricing. So if you feel like that's not reasonable, I mean, let me know. And then in terms of what you actually get a lot. So this is my way of trying to consolidate everything that we offer. So you get a dynamic skybox, volumetric clouds, a day-night cycle, planets and moons, volumetric fog and lighting, responsive smokes, atmospheric haze, volumetric grass, global illumination, a huge particle effects suite that includes like over 100 handmade VFX. Plus, you get all of these visual effects that help you make your game look really cool. So you get like a toon shader, a really nice realistic PBR shader, ghost shader, outline shader, triplanar shading, a pixelizer effect. So if you want to make your game look like it's low resolution, we have that. Dynamic eye rendering, a really nice high quality shader that can make objects look like they're LCD screens, and wireframe shading as well. And then you can also make your game look cinematic using these awesome cinematography features like auto exposure, camera motion blur, object motion blur, zoom or radial blur, and Gaussian blur. And then we also have tools like texture channel packing. We have game speed insights, which we call Ninja, and we're working on making it possible for you to actually access that from, once you release your game into the wild, to make sure that your game is running well on everyone's computer. We have object pooling, and then we also have this really cool physically based ballistics toolkit, which lets you simulate the physical properties of like bullets as they travel through the air. So that'll make FPS games feel super, super realistic. And then we also have a ton of realistic and stylized materials, plus like hundreds of crosshair textures. And so yeah, so if you're like a game designer, an artist, a programmer, or a solo dev, I think that whoever you are, you'll find something really valuable through the platform. And if I don't know, like if you don't really know how to code, that's great, because a lot of our assets are designed to be super friendly for people who don't know how to code. Um, but if you do know how to code, that's also great, because you can pretty easily extend a lot of our assets and tools using the scripting APIs that we have. And so you can do that. In terms of sort of what we develop for, most of our stuff really is developed really targeting more desktop and high-end hardware. It is for URP, but it is targeting that desktop and high-end hardware. So I know that HDRP can be really tricky to hit your frame targets. It's usually like a little bit too heavy, and so we're really helping or focused on helping make sure that URP has great graphics and can deliver great graphics. And we also, make sure that we develop for the latest version of the editor. So all of our assets are sort of baselined on the LTS. Based on our research, 65% of developers are using the latest LTS. So that should get most of you. But if it doesn't, we also have like backdated releases for previous versions of the assets. And then just regardless of what kind of rendering style you're going for with your game, I really think that you can get something, get something out of it. For low poly games, I really think that this is kind of funny, but I think that you can really find something really nice by taking your low poly game and adding some sort of more cinematic tools to it, like auto exposure or really high quality motion blur, or even volumetric rendering solutions that help add a lot of depth and texture to your game that normally low poly games kind of miss out on. And then for stylized games, I think that stylized games can really benefit by having our fine-tuned lighting models. For example, for our ultimate lit shader, it makes it really easy to fine-tune your lighting. And same thing with our toon shader. And so it really lets you kind of really dial in the exact look that you're going for. And then finally, from a realistic standpoint, our volumetric tools and all of our assets are sort of designed from a base of physically based rendering, and even our tune shader is designed with the physically based rendering sort of in mind. And so, you know, if you're making a realistic game, you will definitely have very realistic results using our volumetric systems, or our lighting systems. And so, regardless of your game's genre or style, I think we got you. And we also really try to make sure that we leverage Unity's sort of built-in systems. A lot of it can be easy to try and sort of take a shortcut and um, kind of build our systems in a way that sort of breaks or doesn't conform with the Unity sort of standards. And so we really work to make sure that all of our assets are, uh, you know, using sort of like Unity standard operating procedures so that they're super compatible out of the box with other assets and other tools that you might use. Um, and yeah, so that's pretty much it for the sort of intro. Once you do sign up, you'll see that you'll have this sort of dashboard button up here. And so you'll be able to click that and it'll take you to the dashboard. So we're still kind of trying to figure out the best way to present these different assets because I know this is kind of like a lot and there's not much context about what each one of these is. Um, so uh, I know it can be a little bit overwhelming when you land here and it's like, all right, what am I looking at? But we, are kind of still working on that. So if you have any suggestions, I'm happy to hear it. But these are all of the assets and tools for Unity. On the sidebar, we also have some other things, including our game idea generator, which can help you come up with, fun new game ideas for your game. So you can kind of click through and come up with new ideas. This is great, especially if you're working on something like a game jam. And then we also have this huge crosshair sort of collection, so you can just scroll through and pick the crosshairs that you think will work for your game. Now, jumping back into the assets and tools, I kind of broke them down earlier into those different sections like environmental, tooling, visual effects. And so I'm thinking about bringing that to this dashboard as well. But once you do land here and you find the asset that you want, for example, Altos is our volumetric cloud rendering solution, you'll just go ahead and click on it. And then it'll pop open this page. So that's the product page. And then on here, you'll see the list of all of the releases that we have for this package. So this is one of our favorite parts about offering, our assets through our platform is that we're able to really easily communicate about what is the package version and which version of Unity is that compatible with. And so if you're already using our assets in one of your project and you're super comfortable using a particular version, then you're able to go ahead and jump in and grab that specific version for your project. And so it makes it really clear about what version are you getting, what version are you using, and so we're really happy about that. And then it also has this column here, type. So there are sort of two types of packages, assets versus packages, and then assets will go in your assets folder and packages will go in your packages folder. In general, we're leaning more towards the packages workflow because it allows you to be more modular about where you place your asset files and how you import them to your project. So once you're kind of all set and you're like, oh yeah, Altos, complex volumetric skies, that's exactly what I want. You would just come down here. We have some FAQs down here about how to import it. If you get stuck, what to do, you can just contact us, me. It's really important to me that everything is working and that you're able to use everything. And then if you have any feedback, just reach out. So, you go ahead and you say, okay, the latest version is the one that I want. I don't have any particular requirement for a specific other version. So I'm just going to go ahead and click download, and then it'll take a second to think, and then you can download it. So once you do download it, you'll be able to kind of pop your window open, and then you'll want to kind of extract it. So you'll right click here, click extract all, and then that'll extract your package into your sort of downloads folder. Now, we're also thinking about offering like .tar files. I know it's kind of annoying to wait for this thing to unzip. I don't really love it either. But if we offer like a .tar file, we might do that, and that'll make it easier to sort of just drop it in to your project. So now it's kind of extracted here, and you can see that once we open that file, we have the um, this new folder in here, and that contains all of the sort of Altos files. And what you'll do is you'll just sort of find your Unity version that you want to drop this into. You will copy this. So I hate this new. I'm like such a boomer, but I hate this new like Windows 11 weird icon UI. And then you will find your Unity project. So for me, I think I keep my Unity projects somewhere random. So I'm just going to boot up Unity really quick and find it in there. Alrighty, so this is my Unity project. Sorry, it's a huge mess. I'm just looking for my packages folder. So I just right click, click show in Explorer. And then here's my packages folder. And then you can just go ahead and copy the package that you downloaded into that folder. Now, I'm not going to do that because I actually actually use the manifest JSON to point to a file on my system. So you could do that too. And we have some guides on how to do that in our documentation. But that's how you would do that if you wanted to. Cool. So in other news, if you just kind of jump over here and check your credits section, if you refer someone to OccaSoftware, they don't actually have to, you know, pay anything. But if they sign up using your referral link, then you get $5 in credit. We really are super focused on supporting the community and working with our community and kind of just getting that direct community relationship. And we don't really love the idea of like doing like a ton of ads or something like that. Um, so we really love doing like these referral systems just to, I know it's, like I said earlier, game development's not cheap. So if you know a lot of people who you think maybe would benefit from these assets and tools, you can go ahead and refer them, and you'll get $5 in credit that you can use towards your subscription. So yeah, I think that will kind of help everyone out. Now, I think that's pretty much it that I wanted to cover for today's video. Just thanks you guys for watching, and I'll include a link to our website in the description below. I'd love to hear your feedback and your thoughts on our website and our platform and our portal. And looking forward to seeing what you produce with our assets. All right, thanks for watching. Cheers.